In this video, I'm going to talk about the best notes app all of you have never heard of. Let's get started. Normally, when you go in the market and you start looking for different notes apps, the first few which will come up in your search, starting with, is Evernote. Evernote actually established, at least in my eyes, how a good note app should function in the modern day and age. Evernote really did an amazing job from 2007 till I think about 2011-12, when they completely screwed up, in my opinion, their pricing, their syncing, and all those different aspects. Evernote has become so confusing to understand how to use on different devices that I just moved everything of my notes and my knowledge out of Evernote. Next, you'll come across Notion. Now, Notion is something which has caught a lot of attention in the recent days. Every damn productivity influencer I've seen has made a video on it. And for whatever reason, I've never been able to understand or work with Notion as well as I could with, say, an Evernote in the past, because I feel it was never designed as a notes application. Notion was more, like a database, and it has so many moving things and it has so many extensions and things like that. It was just not ever simple enough for me. Another one which I really like, which I sometimes even now use when I'm doing a writing project, is Simple Note. Now, this is a free application which the folks behind WordPress created. It's a beautiful software, but it lacks some critical features which I have used on a day-to-day basis. For instance, being able to input data into it from a website on any device, an iPhone, an Android phone, a Chrome browser, or Safari browser, whatever it is. And it doesn't have, now it's added a lot of those features like tags and images and all that, but Simple Note is more designed for text-based notes. Next, one particular software which comes up a lot is the Onenote. Now, Microsoft has created this, digital notebook, and they have been pushing this along with Office 365 to a lot of their enterprise clients. Also, OneNote is something which I think has been around for quite some time. I hate OneNote because it just looks like Word or Excel. It gives me the feeling that I'm still working on something corporate, if that's the right way of putting it. And this is the main reason I don't use OneNote. Although it has every feature which I'll be speaking about, I just don't use OneNote that much because of this. You will come across some new sort of softwares like craft.do. Again, these sort of work, sort of don't work. My main issue with some of this is that, they're designed primarily for collaboration, team management, and those are important features. But at least for me, a notes app should function as a data dump of me trying to free up my own, sort of thoughts and move it onto a piece of software, if that's the right way of putting it. And then being able to access it quickly, make sense of it quickly, and then, just touch and go, something very simple and quick. Now, one software which I really like, which had come up, is Google Keep. This works great, but what I didn't like about Google Keep was it didn't have ways of organizing my notes. You just have, a data dump of various different note cards, and it's available on your phone and all that, but it just didn't organize it very well. So for me, these were some of the applications which I am sure when you start searching, you will also come across if you are someone who is looking for a notes app to, work as a storage for your brain. But one particular piece of software which I think goes under the radar, and I hope more people use this and start talking about this, at least that's the goal behind this video, is Zoho Notebook. I think Zoho, it's an Indian company. They have been building cloud software for a very long time. Their CRM system is very well known, and they have an incredible piece of software, in my opinion, Zoho Notebook, which works across platform. It works on every device. It works on any operating system. And the best part about Zoho Notebook is it's ridiculously fast. So very quickly, let me show you how the software looks. The moment I launch, my notebook, so as to speak, I am presented with a series of notebooks in these beautiful, graphically, designed notebook covers. And the way Zoho Notebook works is you organize your notes inside of notebooks, And any given time, if you want to access all your notes, you just click on all notes. If you have some specific favorite notes, you can click on favorite notes. And in my opinion, they have a very, very fast search. I can just click on search and it is immediately able to create and show all the notes which contain that particular key phrase. You can also search quickly with your tags. Adding tags is extremely easy. I just click on hashtag and I'm able to add a tag, and it's automatically created, and any note which has that tag will start popping up in my search or any other, or in the tag list. Now, the moment every time I save a note, it is automatically synced to the cloud, so it's available across my devices, which is connected to the internet. And this is how it looks on the desktop. Keep this in mind, I can add audio recordings, I can add images, I can add photos and even videos. And the best part is, with Zoho Notebook, you get a free storage of about 5 GB online with a Zoho account which you have to create. Creating a Zoho account is pretty simple, takes a couple of clicks. You can just check it out on zoho.com. This is how it looks on the desktop. On mobile, so let me just open up my mobile screen. So over here, if you can notice, there is a small widget, and I'll talk about this a bit later. But the way the app works is you just launch the notebook and you're presented with all your note cards. Say you don't like the card view, you can just go to the list view and you can sort by dates, you can filter with various different criteria. Then you can open up a note or you can create a new note on write. The best part is you can very easily change the theme. Say, for example, I want a yellow theme or a white theme. And of course, you'll be like, isn't that just a very silly feature? I just think that it allows you to color code maybe some of your notes, and also is able to add a little bit of a visual flair to your note cards, or to your note, to all of your notes, honestly. Now, this is a very quick overview of how it looks. Of course, as I said, it's organized as notebooks, or you can see all your notes at once. Pretty simple. But where I feel Zoho Notebook stands out is its ability across platforms, across software, across devices to quickly input data into the system. So, for example, if I am on the desktop and I open up an article, so say I'm on The Verge and there's this interesting article which I want to maybe check out later, there's two ways of doing it. I can install the Zoho Notebook web clipper. The web clipper has multiple features in itself. For instance, I can go to the reader view and it will present this beautiful reader view, and I can save this article with one click, and I can just choose whatever note I want to save it to. Or I can just click on bookmark and the link is bookmarked. I mean, there's multiple ways of doing it, and it's really, really fast and it's really, really easy. And if I like an image, for example, I can literally just drag that image from the website, drop it here, and it again gives me the annotation screen. Maybe I tell that, okay, this is good, and then this is bad, or whatever it is, and I click on done. And it's done, and it's added in my notebook. And the moment it's added, it'll take up a couple of seconds maybe to upload it. And once it's done, it's immediately synchronized to all my notes. I just love how quick and how fast it is, right? And it's synchronized across all my devices. And this entry into system is this flexible even when you're on your mobile device. So one is, of course, on your mobile device, maybe you may not be able to type something out. You can very quickly click on the mic, and once you give permission, you can record whatever sound you have, right? Or from the widget itself, you can start writing out a note. Hell, say you may not have the time to even type something out. You just quickly want to doodle something. If you have a stylus on your device, you can quickly just doodle something, and it's saved just right there in a few seconds. And this share feature works well even on the Chrome on your phone. Now, I want to stress on this, Zoho Notebooks works across all browsers. So it works on Safari, it works on Firefox. And the reason I'm stressing on this is one of my frustrations with a lot of Notes app is they don't support a lot of devices. Some premium Notes apps end up working only with Apple devices. Google Keep specifically works very well with Android, doesn't work that well with some Apple devices. I've been fortunate that I have an iPad and I have an iPhone and I have a Chromebook, and I want a single piece of software to work across these devices, and Zoho Notebook is one of the few ones which does. So when I click on share, I can very quickly just click on add to notebook, quickly select a notebook and click on save. And very quickly, I can just find that card in my notebook. It'll be right here. And this entry into the system, be images, be web pages, be audio clips, be doodles, whatever it is, any file attachment up to 5 GB for free, I think is a really, really cool and quick feature. I know a lot of Notes apps support this feature, but where they end up failing for me is that they just are not quick enough. And Evernote specifically has weird restrictions with the number of devices you have and all those things, and it just becomes very, very strange for me. So entry into the system, the widgets, the web clipper make Zoho Notebook a really, really powerful, piece of software. Next, I want to talk about something that I already hinted on, the cross-platform nature of this particular piece of software. Now, as I mentioned, what ends up happening is, for example, the Windows OS very well supports OneNote, Android very well supports Google Keep, but when you start doing cross-platform stuff, there's always some features missing here and there. With Zoho Notebook, whichever device I have used it on, Android, iOS, whatever it is, it just works well across devices as fast as possible. And there's no lag, there's no stutter, there's no random features being missed out. Just works, guys. And that's really important for me because I am someone who enjoys using a lot of devices, just as someone who loves software. So this is something which I really appreciate Zoho has done. Next, with every Zoho Notebook, you end up getting 5 GB of free storage. And I think for notes, that's quite a lot. And if you need additional storage, Zoho has some of the cheapest plans, in my opinion, for additional storage. And Zoho Notebook is another added advantage. There is no, limitation on the size of a note, or there is no limitation on like syncing between devices and all. It's 5 GB across devices, no confusion whatsoever. And that's just so simple for me to recommend to anyone. I want to talk about a couple of other small features which they have done. The one which I've already hinted on, which is it has these very nice themes, and these themes for whatever reason just make me want to use the Note app a little bit more. And of course, if you're someone who doesn't like themes and all, you can always use white and you can set that as your default. Alternatively, you can use different color coded colors for different kinds of notes. And plus, each note card can have its own reminder, and you can receive the reminder as an email. You can have a repeating reminder. It can be something as silly as updating a note every single day or whatever it is. Next, I want to talk about something which a lot of companies charge a big premium for, which I feel is very silly, is Zoho Notebook very recently announced the ability to collaborate on notes. So you'll find this small add a member icon, click on it, you can add collaborators, or you can send a link for this particular note to anyone and get them to access it. Now this is a really small feature and not a lot of you will use it, but it just makes it a little bit more collaborative and a little bit more, cloud friendly, if that's the right way of thinking about it. I have found that Google Keep doesn't have this feature. OneNote, it just doesn't work that well. And although I've used it for 1 or 2 notes, that's it. It's just been really good to have. The next neat little feature I want to show you guys is the versions feature which Zoho Notebooks maintains. So basically, any note I create, if I click on these 3 dots and I click on versions, I can see every version of that note and I can jump to every version of that note. And I think that's such a small feature, but it can really help out if you do a mistake or you wanted to know what's happened with a particular note. It just makes it so much more easier, to make sure that if you can always go back. It's like having the time capsule feature on Macs. And I think it does a tremendous job of maintaining these versions really, really well. Coming to the conclusion, why does it beat out a lot of these Notes apps? For Zoho, one of the reasons why you may have not heard of it that much is that they don't spend a lot of money on marketing this product because this is not their core business. I honestly feel there must be product managers inside Zoho who just built this because they got frustrated with a lot of softwares and Notes apps which are out there which are charging money for some very basic features. And because of that, you will not see ads You will rarely be asked to upgrade. And the best part is Zoho is one of the few companies which have a very nice privacy policy. And this is important because a lot of people save critical information in their notes. I have my bank information in my Zoho notebook, and their security is pretty good, but even members from Zoho can't access your notebook. And that privacy in itself is a great feature. Compare it with probably Google or Microsoft. I'm sure they are data mining when you're on the free plan. That's not the case with Zoho. They have an incredible track record with privacy. I'll link in the description their privacy policy. You can go through it. I mean, if there's something wrong, please let me know in the comment section below, because as far as I know, I couldn't tell that this company doesn't respect your privacy because they don't sell ads. Zoho's main business is selling SaaS products. And Zoho Notebook is one of those products which I feel has got under the radar with a lot of tech YouTubers. And hopefully, this video will get you to try it out once and you can appreciate the incredible job they've done for a free piece of software. So, this was all for today. It was maybe a ramble on the best notes app I have used, which a lot of you have not heard of. And for cross platform compatibility, I don't think you can do better than Zoho Notebook.